I shot the whole thing on iPhone 12.
Yeah, there you go. So just like Yang Gang Diary, this shows the power of, modern smartphones. They're extremely, if people didn't know that your film was shot with a smartphone, they wouldn't have guessed it unless they were really, really good, in the industry, someone like Darian Danju or what have you, right? And I think the average person probably wouldn't know. And same with your video is very good too. And 4K, 60 or 24, great sound, and it all comes through really nicely. So gave a nice idea what that film festival is like and the type of people that attend it and participate in it, and again of the area of what Montauk and the beach is like. So looks really nice to me.
Yeah, thank you. So shall we talk about that incident?
Sure.
Okay, so I was on Clubhouse actually on Monday. Was that Monday, right? Yeah.
It was Monday, yeah.
Yeah,
Monday
I was
afternoon.
on Clubhouse. Yeah, on Monday. And so while I was talking to Clubhouse group of people, I was like a 4 or 5, right? Of us. It's a small group of people. And I walked into a very nice clam chowder place, and it's in a kind of a near the dock. It's like it's a fisherman. So they park their vehicle, their boats, and at the dock, and then you'll see the picture of like I stopped my video right there. It's at the dock. So I go in there and try to get some food. I want to go. It's at about 3:30ish. So when I walked in, and the server says, "We're not seating anyone right now," and um, we're not seating anyone right now, and we're preparing for 5 o'clock dinner. But I still see a lot of people inside, eating. So it's kind of weird. They don't serve me much.
Yeah.
And they say you can buy something, buy a soup or something, clam chowder, and then you can sit in the patio, like outside the restaurant. So I bought my my clam chowder and then sat outside, and and then the next thing is I went to the bar. I said, do you, what did I say? Oh, do you have a house red? I try to be cheap. And the person said, we don't have house red. We don't have, house wine.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, what kind of red do you have? And then she told me this is like 5 of them, but I don't really know which one is dry. So I said, do you know which one is dry? And she said, I'm allergic to red wine. I do not know. That's what she said.
Wow.
So, Sharkfin, are you still working on your thing? You look very serious.
Yeah. Sorry, just trying to get my mic to work. The mic is on, but it doesn't
look good because you keep looking. Should I move you away and then you figure it out?
I'm waiting. Hopefully it just pops on. I don't know.
Because it looks very distracting.
Sorry. Well,
okay.
the switch is on, but the light isn't on, so maybe it's not working. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Louis.
Okay.
Louis.
We'll see if it wakes
help.
up.
Help. Lalo, help.
Who knows?
And okay, so where I was. I ordered a gin and tonic, and then eating my soup, right? And then I had a little bit gin and tonic, and then about like 20 minutes later, I felt really sick. Like like my stomach is kind of gurgling and I feel just sick. So, and I was like, oh, please, please, please don't throw up, because I was sitting on the patio,
Right.
and the patio is gravel, on the ground. I don't want to make a mess. And so there was nobody there, like absolutely no one human being on a big
Wow.
space. Yeah, just myself, and all the people is inside. Like they don't let me inside. I sit outside by myself. So then I walked about 10 feet away from the table I was sitting, to the dock, and I sat down on the wood. I was just thinking, if I like vomit, and then I'll just do it into the sea. Do it into fucking
Right.
Atlantic. Oh, sorry, Atlantic Ocean. Guess what? And there's a guy came to me saying, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm okay." And then there's like 3 or 4 people from restaurant, including that waitress who is kind of rude. So she's allergic to red wine. And what kind
Right.
of bartender are you? You're allergic. Even if you're allergic, the right thing to say is, "Let me find out." You know what I mean? Right?
I agree. Yeah.
You don't just tell your customer, "I'm allergic to something I do not know."
Well,
That's
especially
that's
as a bartender. I mean, she could have
yeah,
asked someone else, one of the waitresses or waiters, or if there was a second bartender, hey, what's a good red wine or something that we have, whatever, right?
yeah, yeah. So, oh, let's celebrate, guys. Mr. Beast hit 106 zeros. How you say that?
Million,
100,000. Oh,
100 million. Yeah.
what what is that?
We should all have that problem. Man.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
for him. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not a big fan, but he's very good at what he does, and what is there to say, I mean,
Who is Mr. Beast?
he's probably I think right now the second biggest person on non-corporation, person on YouTube. So
Oh,
he's a young guy. He's like 23,
oh,
24, and he just does kind of like general. Oh, I don't know.
oh,
Lalo could describe it better. Like I said, I don't really watch the
oh,
stuff. It's different types of
oh,
contests and things like that. He challenges people and himself to different things
oh,
and that type of thing. It's kind of geared toward young people, but he has fans that are more in our age range or whatever. So
oh,
that, and PewDiePie is the biggest. You ever heard of him? He's
oh,
a gamer who now does kind of gaming / lifestyle.
yeah.
He's also very young. I think he's a little bit older. I think he's maybe around
What is,
30.
what is
And
the
he's a
content? What is the content?
PewDiePie is, well, he was originally strictly gaming. Now he just does kind of every little bit of
Oh,
everything,
gaming.
generic lifestyle, and kind of like Mr. Beast a little bit, but not the same.
All right. So I thought I didn't understand. I thought Lalo hit a big thing.
Well, one of
So
these days, we always tease him. He
yeah.
has 400,000 on his Spanish speaking channel. So who knows?
Oh,
Maybe one of these days he will be in that
yeah.
rarefied air. Who knows, right? So
Oh, so Lalo, you don't have to work anymore, right? You can just
there you go.
be full time content creator.
Full time content creator. That's right.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
goal, right?
yeah. So where was I? Oh, okay. So people come to me, right? And so all this time, my Clubhouse people were listening, including Sharkfin. So tell
Yeah.
us, what did you hear?
Yeah, it was almost surreal. It was very strange, because everything seemed like it was going fine, and we all felt bad for you when you said, of course, when empathy, when you said you were feeling kind of sick. We're like, oh no. And you recall, Ching, not to scold, but or lecture you. I warned you. I said, I'm from New England, right? I know I've been eating chowder for 45, 50 years, give or take, and I said, don't have clam chowder, especially outside on a hot day. It's not good, and don't ever mix chowder with liquor. It's not good for whatever reason, in my experience. Yeah. So now going forward.
I wasn't listening.
That's
Sorry.
okay. That's okay. No, I know you had your heart. You probably had your heart set on it. I get it. I mean, we all love
Uh,
chowder, especially fresh
okay.
chowder like you get out there.
I
That's
love
not going to
chowder.
come from a Yeah, that's not going to come from a can or whatever, right? Anyway, So yeah, I was afraid you might have a bad reaction to it, and then you did, and we could hear you talking, and then yeah, it was very weird how I guess what three people from, I guess they told you it's illegal, quote unquote, to if you have to vomit into the ocean, right? And then they brought you a pail, and then you said, I'm fine, I don't have to vomit after all, right? But then they were like, okay, well, I guess it got a little testy between you and them. And then they asked you to leave, and you said, I'm not leaving. I don't feel I should have to leave because I didn't do anything wrong, which you were technically right. You didn't, from what I could hear, everyone could see and hear in the clubhouse room, correct? But then they warned you, oh, well, if you don't leave, we're going to call the cops on you. And they did, right, after a few minutes. So, yeah, that was very surreal and bizarre. And we were all just praying, oh, Ching, no, whatever you do, please don't get arrested. Don't don't do anything. You know?
Yeah. So they called cop, and then I'm gonna show you, okay, from here, because we stopped at there. So you'll see. Yeah.
Hey,
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good, thanks. We just kind of wanted to check. Somebody said something like that, you weren't feeling right or anything like that.
I feel a little bit sick. And then I was sitting over there because I didn't want to vomit here.
Yeah, so you tried
I was sitting there, and then they all bothered me. They came.
Well,
Three
no.
people.
Well, what
people
happened?
came.
What happened was because they saw you vomiting over here.
I did not vomit.
Well,
I was like sitting there.
I'm Officer Morales.
Morales.
So this right here is private property. Yes, you bought food. Yes, you bought a drink. So you got the service that they provide. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
However, if they deem reasonable, for whatever reason, it's their private business. They says, you know what, this person, we're having issues, whatever it is, or we're not having issues, but whatever, we want her out.
I think they see me as an Asian. It's an Asian hate.
Sure, I can't speak
because
for that.
It's a very white area.
Can I speak?
People are against Asian, so I'm gonna charge them.
You can do anything you want. You have every right to do so. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take your name. Do you have any ID with you?
I don't want to show your name because why?
Well, no,
I didn't do anything.
It's not
wrong.
because you did anything wrong. The people that I spoke to in there, I have their name as well, because anytime there's any interaction between a police officer and a person, we always like you took my name. We always take their names.
Why would I give you a name? I didn't do anything wrong.
It's not about doing something
wrong.
I
was about to vomit, and because my body feels like vomit. I didn't do anything wrong.
Okay.
I am a cancer survivor. Okay. So don't mess up with me.
These people have a private business, right? When there's a private business, they make the rules for their business. If they say, I don't want this patron here for whatever reason that they may deem reasonable, they ask the person
you're
allowed to be here.
I think
you're not allowed to be in this property.
Being racist. America's system is so broken, right? And they're discriminating me because I'm a woman, I'm an Asian. Although I paid for my fucking food and my drink, and because I sat in a dock, feel like sick, feel like vomiting, and they make me leave. I mean, this is a great fucking documentary.
Your rationale for starting this?
Okay.
Honestly, during Me Too, Cassie and I were talking about how can we tell women.
So, I went back to talk about film festival. So that's kind of a a little variation of my vacation / film festival. So I was just wondering, is it true, like the restaurant can just ask you to leave no matter what?
I'm not a lawyer or former cop or anything, but yeah, unfortunately they can. It's like, you see on the signs, Chang, where they say, especially in a beach type area like that, they'll say no shirt, no shoes, no service, right? And then a lot of restaurants will have a sign up saying, not all of them do, but it's supposed to be understood, management reserves the right to expel anyone they want, even if you spend money there. They can legally ask you to leave if they don't want you there. It's kind of BS. I mean, the point is it's their judgment, and their judgment is subjective. It's not always going to be right, correct? One thing I didn't like that the cop said, and this feeds into what I'm saying, is that he said, well, we heard or this is what happened. He wasn't there. He doesn't know what happened. He's taking the word of the restaurant employees or manager or whatever, right? So that's the slight issue I had with that. If it had gotten escalated and worse for you, but the thing is, they do technically have that, that right. I think that the cop made an analogy to you, right, where he said, well, it's like if someone was in your house and you didn't want them there anymore, and you asked them to leave or told them to leave and they don't leave, then you can call the police and to throw them out of your house, right? If they're physically too big or start a fight, whatever, you call the cops and they'll take them out of your house. It's your house, right? So.
But the restaurant is not really a house. It's a business. It's
but it's treated the same way. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but that's my understanding. And in fact, the way they look at it, Ching, is that the residents, the taxpayers of Montauk or Suffolk County, whatever the tax base is, right, New York, and including the businesses that pay, property taxes, right, that funds the police, right. So, when you hear this term, we've heard over the last couple of years since George Floyd, defund the police. That's kind of what they're talking about. Take their money away. We shouldn't pay taxes that support police if the police are doing things that are questionable, whether it's profiling people racially, religious, any other way, right? Or being a bit too harsh, obviously way too harsh in George Floyd's case, or Rodney King in LA 30 years ago, right? Where they're just actually being way too aggressive and to the point of murder, which is what happened with George Floyd, right? So those are extreme cases, but I didn't really like the way they treated you. I mean, again, they really didn't want to hear your story. They just wanted okay, ma'am, just go. We're going to take management's word how you treated them or whatever, and that you were a troublemaker or something. And they're asking you to leave. So we're asking you to leave.
And it's funny. Yeah. It's funny. You guys are listening to me on my headphone, right? My headphone with my phone. And when the police came, I immediately turned on my other phone because I have two phones. And then I just hold my phone right here, like here, like hold it like that. Mm-hmm. Can you see? Just I hold my phone like that.
Yeah.
And they have no idea, because people, if they have to shoot, you have to raise the phone. Right. I know the angle. And so that's why I got this clip. How they treated me. But the thing is, I was going to stay, I was like, I feel humiliated, to be asked to leave. And you guys keep saying, oh, you should go. You should go.
Oh, we were begging you. We didn't want you. The one thing we didn't want to see you get is arrested. Look, I'll just say this on a serious note. And Bill Maher, the comedian, has talked about this. He's a political comedian that gets serious about some stuff. And he always says that with the police, any level, whether it's, local, state, federal, FBI, whatever, it's all about compliance. It's all about compliance. Do as we say, whether you like it or not, whether it's fully kosher, legal, whatever or not, and deal with the other stuff later. But do as we say, or you're gonna face consequences. So the best thing to do is just go along with it, as long as they're not hurting you physically. Say, okay, fine. So you did the right thing and walked away. And you can deal with it later, if you want to, like you say, put in a video, or if you want to sue them, or whatever you want to do, or give the restaurant. I would totally understand you give the restaurant a terrible review, right?
I wrote a very bad review,
right?
On Google.
They deserve it from what you're.
Yeah. So anyway, and I do feel also, because you guys on the other line, I feel I have a support, invisible support.
Of course.
I feel you tell me what to do, and you say, okay, so don't sit in your car's driver's seat. They could, say you're drunk or something, right? And the cop, remember the cop? You didn't see the part. The cop says, "Oh, you had several drinks." He put that in my mouth. I said, "I only had one. I only had 1/3. I only had 1/3, not even the whole thing." So I was thinking also maybe they run into this problem often. People like get drunk and then
Yeah.
throw up. Maybe, huh? So,
It
but
seems like
anyway,
such a quiet place, though, that it would be rare that, so maybe that was the issue. They saw you as a rebel and a troublemaker, quote unquote, because you weren't, you didn't complain about, which you had a right to, the wine, the chowder didn't agree with you. And then they got a little, harsh with you saying, well, you can't vomit in the ocean. We have to give you a pail. And they didn't like what they thought was your attitude. And then they, kick you out and you said no, and they called the cops. So, it just escalated all the way up, unfortunately. Now, did the cops cross the line? I don't know. I mean, that's really a different, it's
so
something you have to decide, but it's hard to say one way or the other, but it definitely was, like I say, I didn't like the fact that they went to them first before they asked you your side of the story. And they just believe hook, line, and sinker. They could have said anything to the cop, oh, she's this da 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 da, and made up things about you. And how would the cop know unless unless the restaurant had a camera inside or outside where you were eating, to know really? And even then, they might not have audio, just visual, right, as to what happened.
mhm.
So
Yeah, yeah. One good thing is that um, I did not go into my car. I did not sit even
yeah,
I just walked away from the parking lot, because if I go into my car, then they'll get my license plate, right? Because the cop was asking me what my name and even my birthday, remember?
yeah,
I was like, I'm not telling you, why should I? And then
yeah.
when they asked my name, I gave him a name, but anyway, so I gave him a name.
Only you,
Ah,
Ching. Only you.
yeah.
No, but look, again, I don't blame it for being serious about it. I don't blame you. I mean, you like you said, you hadn't committed any crime. You're not, from my understanding, again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. You're obligated to show ID or prove who you are or anything. And you told them you were a visitor and you're just having some chowder. You didn't feel well. The restaurant got a little, nasty about with the pail and everything, and then called the cops on you. And even though there was no real crime, they considered it trespassing at that point, and they just want you out. So it was unfortunate. Maybe it's a learning lesson all around. Now you know what not to do. Don't drink chowder on a hot day, especially on Long Island. Don't mix it with liquor, and try not to let it get to that point where even if they're 100% in the wrong, just deal with that side. Mary's saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Just deal with that side of it later.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, any other questions? Do we have any questions from our audience?
Yeah. Mary's got a lot of great comments here.
I think they can ask your ID name because the business wanted you
Yeah, she might be right.
trespass off the property. I think the cop has to document that you are giving the trespass warning because it is a criminal. Okay, excuse me, criminal. Yeah.
But the point is, you left at that point when the cop went away, right? And then before
No,
they came back.
I told them, I'm not gonna leave until you leave first. I said.
Oh, but I think, and he said, "Oh, we're going to see what the management wants to do." So when he left, you left. Yeah,
I just told them I don't want to be removed right now. I didn't do anything wrong.
right.
So I will leave in my own term.
No, I know, and I'm glad you did. But the point I'm trying to make is, when he went back to the management and they said, "Yes, we want her taken off," then yeah, the cop could, I guess, the idea would be force you to leave. I don't know if they would actually arrest you, but I don't know what the procedure is. But just so you know, the best thing to do is, like Mary and I and other people are saying, just walk away. And that at that point, you made your point and you had some valid points. Give them a bad review. You want to go after the police because you feel there was discrimination, you can do that separately, but just get out of that situation so it doesn't get worse. Unfortunately, that's it. I don't know. I know China, the UK, different countries have, India, wherever, they have different rules as to how trespassing and businesses vis-a-vis big businesses work, I'm sure. Right. So I don't know. You had a right to be a little frustrated and angry. From what
Oh yeah, yeah. It's okay. It's okay. I'm kind of over with it.
Right.
It's small. What do you call? Yeah. It was upsetting for a while, but I'm okay. I'm okay.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. I'm not permanently damaged by this thing. But
No, I would hope not.
yeah, I made a short 12-minute of a video. I had this section in it. So I was wondering, what do you think, Mary? The rest of the video is talking about festival and my experience. Do you think this section of the cop talking to me, do you think, Sharkfin, do you think it's bad?
Borderline. I don't think there's anything. I mean, I think I mentioned you in text. I think the only thing you do ask the cop his name, and you can see his ID on his badge, and the 1 in a million chance he happens to see the video. You do have your actual name and on your channel and in the video, right? And could he actually sue you potentially for defamation of character? That you made him look bad, for example, because you said he's discriminating against because you're Asian and a woman or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a lawyer. I maybe that's potentially true. I know you gave him a fake name at the thing, but your real name is on here, right? So I think the odds are very slim that he would ever see it, or anyone he knows would see it. Oh, but you never know, right? There's always that 1/10 of 1%
No, I'm
possibility.
not asking that. I'm asking this video of 12 minutes with this section in it, does it make me look bad? Like,
No, I don't think it makes you look bad.
oh, okay.
But I'm saying if the 1 in a zillion chance he or someone he knows sees it, could they, come after you on a civil case and say, oh, you defamed this cop, Morales, saying he's a hater or whatever. I guess that possibility that might be there. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but I do understand First Amendment. And when I studied journalism in college, one of the main things we had to learn was First Amendment law. And you saw the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. It's a very slippery slope and tricky thing to prove defamation, but it can be proved. I won't even get into that whole mess of a trial. I have my own opinions on that. I don't think it was right the way it went down to me 100%.
Yeah.
What's your favorite color?
Red.
Nice.
What's your favorite food genre?
Wow. There's so many. I should have been better prepared for that. One genre.
Yeah, Italian food, Mexican food, Chinese food.
I understand. I probably would say Asian. Yeah, just because there's so much variety. I can have sushi. I can have Chinese.
Sushi's
all different
Japanese.
types. No, I'm saying there's Japanese, Chinese, Korean beef. There's so much variety. Noodles, ramen. There's so much variety and flavors and spices within what quote unquote Asian genre. So yeah.
Okay. Too long. Rapid fire is a short answer. Short answer. Okay. Is it your turn or my turn? Your turn.
Let's see. What's one of your? Okay, I'm gonna turn this on you a little bit. I know you usually ask what book, what's their favorite book you recently read. I'm gonna ask you what's your favorite film you've recently seen. It could be documentary or anything, or narrative.
I really like the TV series Outlander.
Really?
On Netflix.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in there like, I don't know, 7 seasons or something.
Yeah, that's interesting because I think we talked about it a little bit. There was a movie, a couple movies and TV show back in the 80s and 90s, and I haven't seen the recent. I assume it's the same thing. It's about the ancient Scottish clan and the Highlanders, right? Yeah.
Outlander.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it has a lot of history. It's about war, but mostly it's about love. It's a love story.
Oh, that's why you liked it.
And the time, it's like you're in 17 whatever, and then come to 1900, and go zigzag, So it's a fantasy, right? Fantasy.
Right.
Oh yeah, Mary said Outlander is a great book series. Yes, I haven't seen the show.
Mhm.
Um, what's your most favorite and least favorite part
Oh, I
about
was going to ask
living?
you that.
uh,
Mary gave me one there.
most favorite. I think New York City is like a country. It's a country full of different people, different culture. So
Yep.
that's I like, and it's a very versatile, and it people are somewhat open-minded with different race and different sexual preference. Yeah. So overall, people are very open-minded. What I about living, I don't like about New York. Uh, Subway dirty. I don't like to ride on subways. It's dirty.
Can I just say something? If you think it's bad now, you remember were you here in the, I don't know what year you came here, but trust me, it was much, much worse back in the day, back in the 70s, 80s, early 90s. Yeah, they cleaned it up a lot. You're right. It could always use improvement, but it was much worse back in the day. So
Yeah,
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 yeah. You've
yeah,
probably seen movies like The Warriors. It's all graffiti and gangs and a lot of violence and rapes, murders, robberies. Today there's some of that, but not nearly what it was before. So it is much better now. You're right. It still could be improved. There's always room for improvement, but it was much worse back in the day.
yeah. So it's my turn now, Sharkfin. Name 3 things when you want to employ someone.
If I were to hire someone,
Yeah. Name
wow.
3 quality. 3 name the person. How do I say that? Gosh, my English is terrible. What are you looking for when you hire someone? 3 most important things.
Like say I were to subcontract someone for what I do, like tax reporting or something like that.
Huh?
Like if I were to subcontract someone for what I do for
Yeah,
tax
yeah,
reporting,
yeah.
yeah, well, they have to have the skill set. They have to know the hard skills. I don't want to sit there and teach them everything I know because that would take, no, seriously, just like it would be asking you to teach someone everything you know about filmography, right? Or video, you know what I mean? So they'd have to come in with a reasonable skill set of the hard skills. Secondly, I think they'd have to have the soft skills. Soft skills are like interpersonal communications, how they deal with the public, how they deal with me, communication skills, basically, right? And third one, that's a good one. I don't know, last but not least, maybe, and this is not something you can always quantify, but I guess like sense of loyalty, trust slash a sense of loyalty. That okay, I hired you. How do I know you're not gonna, someone offers you a few dollars more per hour, you're not just, and you say you like the job and whatever, and then you jump a few weeks or a couple months later to somewhere else for a few dollars more, and then I have to go through the process of hiring someone else all over again, right? So you have to that's hard to judge, I think, when it's, you know what I mean? That's kind of a judgment call by the employer you might want to look at the person's resume to see what their job history was to get an idea if they're a job hopper or if they've been loyal in the past. They've held jobs for a few years at least at a time or something, not just a few months, right?
Yeah. Great. Thank you. Louis says, Ching, what is your musician? What does that mean? What is my musical instrument?
Oh, Mary said he might mean who's your favorite musician.
Oh, musician.
Yeah.
I don't have one. There's too
Wow.
many.
Really?
It depends on what genre, right? Are you talking about classical music or jazz or rock or pop song? It's kind of hard. It's hard to name one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same way.
Maybe
People.
Bach. If you want me to choose one, Johann Sebastian Bach.
Wow. Amazing, right?
Yeah.
I know you
yeah.
play a lot of Bach on viola and violin, right?
Yeah, I play Bach on violin and
Nice.
viola. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So, all right. I think we're good. I need to go work with my son and to pack. So I'm going to Pittsburgh for like
Wow.
5 days.
Oh, you're leaving on what, Sunday or Monday?
We're leaving on Monday.
Wow. Okay.
Is it Monday? Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
I think
leaving.
you said
We'll drive.
August 1st, I think, right? Yeah.
We'll
Okay.
drive there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be new challenge because my son got a job and he rented a house and the house is totally empty. So we're going there we have to go furnish the whole house, meaning starting by bed, and then, yeah, everything. So we actually had another kind of every problem, you solve problem every day, right? Every day. We ordered a bed from Costco, and from Costco to ship from Costco has in Pittsburgh has Costco, so they're gonna ship to his residency, right? And then
Oh, cool.
Costco denied our purchase because
What?
they have to verify the address, so they put my son's name and it doesn't match that address. In other words, you have to live in that place at least 30 days.
That's
But,
crazy.
but what if somebody just get there?
Right.
Right? That's
That's the
kind
whole
of
point.
weird.
Right. He's a new resident, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So now we have to, I spend an hour on the phone with Costco. So who knows? But anyway, every problem has its solution.
Yes. I think those are great words of wisdom right there.
Yeah. So how about like we do Clubhouse? Last word, Sharkfin.
Last words. Let's see. I'll give a couple without going too long. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Watch the my Yang Gang Diary on Vimeo if you haven't already.
Hey.
Come to Ching's room on tomorrow afternoon at 12 noon Eastern Daylight Time on Clubhouse
Yay!
to learn more about
Clubhouse.
smartphone video production. And while you're at it, subscribe, check out my channel, Sharkfin Tech, and subscribe there. And there'll be more content coming very soon. Chang, I just want to thank you for this has been fun and great as always, as our conversations always are. But first time we've done it face to face on video.
Yeah.
And please say hi to your husband and son for me. They're terrific people, as are you. And again, thanks for having me. Thanks for the opportunity. This has been a really fun time.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. And thank our audience, Mary, Lewis, and Lalo, and whoever's there listening and hiding your faces. And yeah, thank you so much. Sharkfin has a name. His real name is Mark. And yeah, and you're always very supportive of me, of my Clubhouse room. Supportive of my film, and Sharkfin came to view my film, New York Film Festival, socially relevant film festival screening in March. So thank you so much for being there for me.
You're
and
welcome.
for my I guess artistic creation.